Alright, welcome in there. Let's go ahead and continue some more genshin, shall we? So, basically last time we finished up and we will just be mainly continuing with these, so like, we got plenty to go. We got Chiro, which will be starting our Lysiono. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Sign of Chapter 2, or Act 2, whatever you want to call it, I suppose. Florindin and 6 1. So, let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm pretty sure this quest is just from the start. Dun 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 dun. So let's see what it's about.
Is this really okay? I told you I could do it using the leftover funds from the original deposit. Don't tell me you're afraid that I cheaped out on the dress. No, not at all. I have only the fullest faith in your work, Miss Chiori. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's always been my dream to wear a Chioria boutique dress for my wedding. I really thought the chance had passed me by.
Wait, isn't that Chiori? She's actually at her shop today?
Apparently.
Oh, you've got a point there. Well, once she's done with her customer, we can go and ask her.
I'm a woman of my word. If I say I can do something, then it'll be done. The first rule of business is to always keep your promises. Now, remember to not fold the gown, or store it under direct sunlight. I'd recommend only taking it out on the day of the wedding. But from the look on your face, I can tell that may be a little difficult for you.
Alright.
I'll try my best. Once he sees me in this, his jaw is gonna drop straight to the floor.
Chiori, you're actually at your shop today!
Is that really so shocking? It is mine, after all. Anything you're looking for today? A custom design, or perhaps some ready-to-wear outfits for kids?
Paimon's not a kid!
Well, you would fit in a kid's size, but still.
Oh. That. Well, if news of the event has reached your ears, I suppose the Fontaine Apparel Association's advertising efforts have paid off.
Are there any fun and popular activities that we can take part in?
Fashion Week isn't what I'd call fun, but it certainly always attracts a crowd. It's a fashion extravaganza that only takes place once a year, after all.
Will you be showing off some of your designs too?
I'm gonna assume
All
so.
designers at the Court of Fontaine use the week to advertise their brand. If you're lucky, you could even land a large amount of orders as soon as the main show ends. Come to think of it, it was also at a previous fashion week that our label first took off.
Aren't you pretty much an established name now? People will still buy your clothes even if you don't participate this year, right?
Probably
that's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit and style, the fashion industry also strongly values a label's artistic vision and creative direction. Why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year?
No idea.
Fashion is just a representation of the spirit of the times. People support your brand because they support the vision it represents.
Huh. Okay, so maybe fashion's more complicated than Paimon thought.
Sounds like it.
Complicated stuff aside, you're saying we'll be able to see new Chioria designs at the show?
Absolutely. The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for the fabrics to arrive.
Ooh, are you using materials you can't get in Fontaine?
It's possible.
I still have a certain partiality to Inazuma-made fabrics. The textures are pleasant to the touch, and their familiarity gives me a sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Paimon gets it! It's that feeling of home.
Ugh, something like that. Yes.
We're a long way from Inazuma, though. Aren't you concerned that your shipment might get lost or stolen along the way?
No need to worry.
In...
I've already taken steps to ensure that it'll arrive safely. I've entrusted the job to Komani Express's most reliable courier.
Hmm.
Excuse me. Coming through. Coming
Ah,
through.
her.
Shiori, your shipment's here. I know it's quite late, so I'm really, really sorry. Deep breaths, Kirara, then start again.
Oh, so Kirara's the courier you were talking about.
Oh, hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy seeing you here in Fontaine. It's been
Mm-hmm.
a while. Wait a
Yep,
second.
indeed.
This is the second time that you've seen me flub a delivery job now, isn't it? Oh, you somehow always happen to catch me off my game, huh? So, what was the holdup? Sailing delays, bad weather? Huh? No, nothing like that. I just ran into a bit of trouble, that's all. Bandits?
A bit of trouble.
Or treasure hoarders? A few run-ins on the road aren't usually enough to give you any trouble. Well, I didn't run into anyone exactly. I just got a little lost.
Your tails.
Honest as always, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. I was stopped by a group of bandits as soon as I entered Fontaine. They were a little different from the ones I usually run into. I could hear them mumbling about Komunia Express. It was obvious they were looking for someone with two tails.
Hmm.
So it was a targeted hit?
Sounds like it.
I got the sense that they were actually targeting Chiori's goods. A fabric shipment? Yeah, they said that I could go as long as I left the goods with them. Otherwise, they'd stuff me into my delivery box and toss me into the sea to drown.
Nice guys.
Oh, are you okay, Kirara?
Oh, I'm good. I'm still a yokai after all. I turned them over to the guards. It just took me a while to round them all up. Well, it's not completely out of the ordinary for one of your deliveries to get intercepted. But it still doesn't make sense how you knew it was my goods they were after. You've got other deliveries to make in Fontaine, don't you?
I
Is there
assume
something else that
so.
you're keeping from me? Huh? Well... Perhaps I need to reconsider how many stars to give you in my review.
Jeez.
You always know how to get me, Chiori. Alright, I'll talk.
Mm-hmm.
So, I kinda wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me, so I spent a bit of time investigating.
Mm-hmm.
One of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some time. He said that a certain person had commissioned them to intercept Chioria Boutique's delivery.
Oh,
Who might
great.
this person be? Chiori, why don't we just let this one go? I mean, I didn't really get injured, and you've still got Fashion Week to worry about. I appreciate your kindness, Kirara, but if I don't teach this person a lesson, I doubt they'll stop here. Anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends deserves a stern talking to and then some. Alright. The guy said that the commissioner was someone by the name of Uter. Uter?
Okay.
You know that name rings a bell, wouldn't you say, Kirara? Well, that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it up to you.
So you both know this Uter guy?
Through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it his goal in life to make hers as miserable as possible.
Oh, so he's like a business rival.
A rival is what you call someone who fights you fair and square.
Hmm.
Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. He's publicly disparaged my design choices, my use of materials. He's practically tried every trick in the book to ruin my good name. I've already warned
Nice
him before
guy.
to compete with me fair and square, but I guess he prefers playing dirty. Well, I'm more than happy to oblige.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Chiori, where are you going? To teach someone a lesson.
Jeez.
You must be tired after your long journey. Why don't you rest in my shop for a little while before heading back? Chiori! Wait!
Well,
And she's gone.
yep.
Oh no. What should we do?
You seem concerned. Should we be worried about Chiori?
Well, she's always been the type of person to face things head on,
Mm-hmm.
but with her fiery temper, I'm just worried whatever she's about to do will feel negative publicity about her right before the start of Fashion Week. Traveler, Paimon, could you go after her and check out the situation for
Sure.
me? As a formal employee of Komania Express, it wouldn't be appropriate for me to get involved.
Yeah, we'll take good care of Chiori.
To be honest, I'm more worried about that Uter guy's safety.
Okay. When they talk about tonight. Sure,
Off we go.
let's go ahead and catch up with Shiori.
Adventure time.
Ah, it's another familiar face.
Any chance you're on the clock, officer?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing good ever comes out of you addressing me like that. Oh.
Yeah.
And I see the Traveler and Paimon are here too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's accurate.
Surprise! We meet again.
Well, things have been fine on my end. We were able to bring in a large number of recruits thanks to that film we made. I suppose the trade-off is that I'm now constantly getting stopped for autographs while out on patrol. Not ideal, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were one of the leading roles after all.
So, did something happen?
Yep.
Indeed it did. I'll need you to come with me.
I only ever hear that phrase from you. Usually I'm the one asking people to do that.
Well, are you coming?
Not before I know what you're planning.
Have I
Jeez.
ever made a bad call?
The better question is, have you ever made one that didn't violate proper procedure?
Jeez.
Okay. A man hired a group of bandits to mug my friend. I'm about to go teach him a lesson.
Oh,
Are you sure
jeez.
this is something you should be telling the captain of the special patrol? It's getting hard to tell whether you're here to report a case or turn yourself in for one.
Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision from said captain, so I don't do anything too out of line.
Are you
Okay.
planning to?
Not if I can help it.
All right. Where is this person?
Follow me.
Alright, let's see how this goes.
Just promise you'll start trying to keep yourself out of trouble.
Well, when trouble stops coming my way, I'll be sure to get on that.
Yeah, that's not a very committal answer. But fair enough, I
Nice.
suppose.
You all wait here. I'll go have a chat with him.
Oh,
You know,
jeez.
Chevraz, Paimon gets the sense that you two are actually pretty close.
It's just as Chiori
Mm-hmm.
said. We got to know each other pretty well in our lines of work. You could call it a you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours sort of situation.
Does Chiori often need your help?
I'd say it's mutual. The Special Patrol needs her help quite often as well. We've got tough problems of our own. Getting people to talk, for example. The uniform, the musket, they're intimidating. Most people clam up the minute they see us. Lips sealed so tight, getting them to talk almost feels like trying to break into the fortress of Maripede.
Oh,
Put them
jeez.
in a clothing boutique, and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters at the Fountain of Lucine.
Oh, is it because they're trying to show off or something?
No idea. Maybe.
Yep. People are vain creatures. They can't help but want to talk up new developments in their lives or show off how much they know about other people. And nothing brings out that sort of vanity quite like fashion. As a result,
Mm-hmm.
Shiori often picks up on all kinds of information in her shop. Most of her customers are members of the upper class, which means they're pretty much up to the gills in wealth and intel.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Huh, Paimon gets it now.
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure Chiori's safety. Those who make trouble for her also tend to be rich and powerful. And in some very rare cases, I'm forced to protect other people from Chiori herself. So, who got on her case this time? It's been a while since I last saw her that angry.
Oh, so this is what happened.
Huh? Uter, you say?
Yep.
You've heard of him?
Yep. He's made trouble for Chiori several times already. He's fond of pretty much every dirty trick in the book. I heard that even the Maison Gardiennage issued him a warning due to his behavior. So
Oh.
he's back at it, huh? His funeral, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What's this about a funeral all of a sudden?
It's
I
an
just meant that
expression.
Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two. Get right up close.
Sure, but why?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is probably going to turn into one of those very rare cases I just talked about.
Yep.
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of stupidity?
Mm-hmm.
Stupidity is doing the same meaningless thing over and over again. It
Yep.
appears you've forgotten what I told you before. So, allow me to refresh your memory. Lay off the dirty tricks. Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again, you can expect a far less pleasant landing next time.
Yep.
Chiori?
Officer, an assault's in progress! Please, officer, you've got to do something!
Of course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation. Unfortunately, I was chatting with this traveler and seemed to have missed what happened.
Nice.
Not to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. You don't mind, do you? There's nothing in there that would implicate you in any illegal activity, I would hope.
Mm-hmm.
Forget it. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Ms. Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such disorderly conduct in the future, especially out in the open like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say I'm just used to tossing out any trash I come across on the street.
You...
Is there anything else either of you have to say for yourselves?
Mm-hmm.
That's all from me.
Yep.
I sincerely hope that today's events will never happen again.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see about that.
Jeez. He's also not the subtle guy, is he?
Whoa, that scared the heck out of Paimon! How did he just go flying?
You're too kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments. What happened to not doing anything too out of line?
Oh, not if I could help it, is what I said. And I think I kept to that. I started with a verbal warning, but he displayed neither shame nor remorse. If anything, he kept running his mouth with insults and threats.
Oh,
Insults and threats
jeez.
so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a sack of trash?
Believe it or not, they were that bad. He deserved to get knocked down a peg. It's the only way to get him to stop.
You could have reported him to the guards.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to gather evidence. And he denied that he ever had anything to do with those bandits. I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if Kirara is going to continue delivering goods for me, the least I can do is guarantee her safety.
Makes sense to me.
Oh, that reminds me. There is another favor I'd like to ask of you today.
Mm-hmm.
What a shame. I believe you've already used up your favor quota for the day.
Have I? Well, it's a good thing I was planning on taking an advance on tomorrow's quota then.
Oh,
Don't
jeez.
you think you're maxed out on advances already?
I always pay you back in information, don't I?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you said. You scratch.
Well, after that scuffle, let us go back.
Off we go!
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, slightly higher, which is like the tiniest of steps,
We're
probably.
back.
Mm-hmm. Yep, indeed.
You were gone for an awfully long time. Oh, please tell me nothing bad happened. There's nothing to worry about. All you need to know is that you'll never have to worry about someone in Fontaine messing with your deliveries again.
Huh.
Sorry, Chiori. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way, and the Spina di Rasula can take the second half. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't go anywhere near your goods. Unless, of course, it's to offer to carry them for you.
Fair.
Good one, Chiori.
I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal. You're going back to Inazuma tomorrow, right?
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training tomorrow. As for Navia, I'll give her a heads up in a bit.
Mm-hmm.
There's really no need.
That
I'm just
works
a
out.
simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards. Or ones with sunglasses, for that matter.
Fair.
This is a bit much.
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It's just a one-off thing, for my own peace of mind. It'll
I
also
mean,
show
fair
these guys what
enough.
happened to those who dare to mess with my friends. Yes, well put.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you think it's a good idea, Traveler, then I guess it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yep.
if the bad guy's out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be good to go for Fontaine Fashion Week, right?
I
Probably.
believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days. I've heard a lot of suppliers will be participating this year.
Paimon's gonna take a guess and say suppliers are super important.
But of course,
Probably.
they supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access. You have to work with them if you want to become a truly renowned fashion house. That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important to me.
But
All makes
isn't your
sense.
brand already really famous, Chiori? Your clothes are so pretty and so nice to wear. I can't help but brag about them to my customers whenever I get the chance.
Even so,
Hmm.
I would imagine there are still people who've never heard.
Well, I mean, with the amount of places that I deliver to, it's only natural that some people from other nations haven't heard of it.
Then it's still not famous enough. My goal is to make the Chioria brand
Alright.
throughout all of Teyvat.
All of it? Your business would have to get pretty huge then. Wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chioria branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed? It has been pretty inconvenient having to come to Fontaine every time I need to get them patched up.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them. They're already about as durable as I can make them.
That's fair.
Okay, I'll admit, they do get snagged on branches pretty often, but I can't help it. It's hard to be careful about that sort of thing when you're trying to take a nice nap in a tree. Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality. Is there anything we can do to help out with Fashion Week?
Probably materials.
I'm sure I could think of something.
Ooh, what is it? What is it?
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me? Simply put, you'll serve as my living mannequins.
Sure.
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes? Got it!
Seeing them off the rack will also give me the chance to make some small adjustments to the stitching and the silhouette of the designs.
Sounds easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
No need. We've already booked the models for that. If you like them, though, feel free to visit the boutique and see if anything catches your eye. I'll even give you a special discount.
Ooh, sounds great!
Then we have a deal. You'll model some formal wear, Traveler, and I don't know. Paimon here will show off some kids' designs. I'll see you both tomorrow then.
Probably the only type of design that fits.
Kids' clothes? Paimon told you already, she's not a little kid!
Yeah, but you're not gonna fit the other clothes. So, yeah. Until tomorrow, 6. Alright. Is here. I don't know, it's like not spot on, but like, come on. It's close enough. That's for sure.
Chiori, we're here!
Mm-hmm.
You're here early. I haven't even opened the shop yet.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, has Kirara left already?
Seems like it. Probably busy.
Yep, with the special patrol. Bright and early.
Did everything go alright on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself. They took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Kirara won't so much as step on a single stray rock on her journey. I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going-away gift for Kirara. An excellent souvenir to remember Fontaine by, I'd say.
Sounds like Navia really got into it.
My thoughts
Yep.
exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare something even fancier. I'm pretty sure she can't wait for another escort opportunity to come her way.
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar. You say what you mean, and when you have an idea, you really hit the ground running.
I suppose that's why we're such good friends. Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter what comes her way, she never bows down in the face of adversity. That sort of determination and courage is something I really admire. That same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit from my boutique, well, I'm sure you can imagine my excitement.
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also to the figures in society who wear said clothes. People like to copy the styles of those they look up to.
That's fair, I suppose.
Wonder Paimon thought all that mattered was for the clothes to look cute.
Fashion is about more than just looks,
Matters
my dear.
the
Especially if
most,
you've
I
got your
think.
sights set on a market the size of that. Well, would you look at the time?
Oh yeah, come on, let's get down to business. We're here to model.
Sure, let's do it.
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits. Why don't you help me set up the shop displays in the meantime?
Set them up. How exactly?
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This way, we can guarantee that the customers will see something different every day.
Sure.
That sure is a lot that goes into running a store.
Yeah, of course.
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
Alright.
So, we just need to put all the clothes with similar styles together, right?
I mean, that's obviously not probably that one. That sounds right, or that looks right, I think.
Not bad. You might just have an eye for design.
Hmm.
Anyway, let's move on to the real task at hand. Over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first.
That works out.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good morning, Leanne. How have you been recently?
Not too bad.
You don't
Your
sound
gown will
that
be ready
good.
next week, so there's no need to worry about missing the ball. Or did you come here today because you'd like to make a new request, perhaps?
Oh, no. Nothing like that, Miss Chiori. To be honest,
Huh?
I came here today to cancel my order for that gown.
Huh? Why?
Cancel your...
But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any materials you've already used.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the materials. I'm more concerned about you. It's all right. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you. Thank you. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Alright.
Is it just Paimon, or was she acting a bit strange just now?
It's not a big deal. These things happen every once in a while. A
It's
family
fair.
emergency, an important payday falling through, a lover's quarrel, no one to take you to the ball. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from revealing the truth to us. It's best not to pry.
That's
Well,
fair, I
means we'll have
suppose.
more time to work on Fashion Week, right?
That's true. Come, let's pick up where we left off.
Mm-hmm.
Is Miss Chiori in?
Mm-hmm.
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Huh?
Oh, could I ask why?
It's just, not to my liking. You said I could get a refund if I wasn't satisfied, so...
Is there something about it that didn't meet your expectations? Are the sleeves too short?
No need.
Mm.
You don't have to concern yourself with that.
And I'd be happy to process that for you.
Is Chiori here? I'd like to
Huh?
Is there some sort of new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Another flood? Or an apocalypse, maybe?
Huh.
What does the prophecy say this time? You'll be spared if you get rid of all your... Surely the entire population of Fontaine didn't convene in...
What kind
Hmm?
of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it, this shop is nothing. Please come.
Huh?
What is it?
Haven't you heard? Chioria Boutique has been exposed for having
And just who is it that dares to...
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sorts.
I've been transparent about my materials from the very beginning. I've already proved there's nothing. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means, go ahead and hand over your garments right now.
You
Jeez.
Elof!
Miss Chiori?
Mm-hmm.
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. There's no need to ask them why. And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed for the day.
Got it.
Alright. Well, I have a suspicion.
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry about them. I'm sure they'll go away on their own in a few days. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from Fashion Week. The best response right now is to tune it out and focus on finalizing my designs.
So there's Zoe. Thanks for the follow. I'm not sure why the alert didn't pop up. At least I don't think it popped up. For some reason, so I will have to check that later, I think. But yeah, thanks for the follow.
If you say so, but Paimon still can't help but worry.
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no doubt about the quality of my work once my new designs are released. The public just has to see it for themselves.
Miss Chiori, bad news!
Oh,
More bad news?
can a woman not get a moment of peace to do her work? Go on. What's the matter now?
It's our
Well,
accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll no longer be able to supply us during Fashion Week.
huh?
No accessories? Not even the ones we pre-ordered?
Yes, that's what their messenger said.
And what about the models we asked them to book for us?
I think they'll probably pull out as well.
Oh,
Even
jeez.
the suppliers believe those nasty rumors?
Mm-hmm.
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
Oh, jeez.
So, no accessories means no brooches, no bow ties, things like that?
Not just
Yep.
that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold thread, all the elements that lend life and soul to my designs.
What a mess.
Take those away, does that mean you won't be able to make your designs at all?
Aloft,
Sounds
you
like
stay and
it.
watch the shop. I'll go talk to the supplier myself.
We'll go with you.
And we can vouch for you too. We'll make sure your supplier knows there's nothing wrong with your clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. In that case, please come with me.
Yeah, also to protect the supplier, I think, in this case. Because I think they might be in danger as well. In as we've already got a pretty good suspicion on the guy who's spreading the crap. It's probably the guy you beat up yesterday for trying to mug one of your delivery drivers. But since he's already been warned about this, yeah, if he gets found out, I think he might just need to appear to the court.
Just going to talk, right?
Right.
Of course.
But I think she wants a source in this case of the information.
Who is it?
Mm-hmm.
Venger, it's Chiori.
Yep.
We've worked together all these years. The least you could do is allow me a face-to-face conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Straightforward as always, I see. You know, there are certain conventions people usually follow if they want to seek someone's company. Sending a messenger, for example.
Yeah, a
And
bit
has
too
public
urgent.
convention ever gotten me anywhere? Why hire a messenger when I can just explain things in person?
Have you read the papers today?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation. Maybe that's something you should consider as well.
You're right. I only subscribe to the Steambird. And most days I never even read the others.
So,
Okay.
these rumors. The Steambird was the one that published them?
No,
Hmm.
not at all. They were in some second-rate fashion tabloids.
Oh?
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster than you can read them. Surely a bit of tabloid drama isn't worth cutting off my supply.
You
Mm-hmm.
think that. But this time is different. Someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave a copy in front of every house.
Oh,
That's how I first
jeez.
learned of the rumors.
Every house? That means someone must have been planning this for a very long time.
Yeah, that
Seems
sounds like
your rival
slander.
really pulled out all the stops this time, Shiori. The article was even
What sort of photo?
a photo of you.
Yesterday,
Uter again.
Yep,
Here,
that
I
guy.
got a copy. See for yourselves.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's Utter again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Baseless accusations.
the true Chioria boutique takes shape. Not a fashion house, but a house of lies.
Hmm.
Relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the
Right.
Chioria brand employs illegal competitive tactics to come out on top, giving hope to the evildoers among us that wrongdoing can still prevail, provided
Oh,
we conceal
jeez.
it under the guise of fashion and beauty.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still,
Mm-hmm.
that photo shows you to be the clear aggressor.
Eh,
Yeah, he was the one who started it, that little...
yep.
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon. But it can't be helped now.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind. Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort. They even dug up the fact that my father once served time in the fortress of Meripede.
It's not
That was
even
so long
relevant.
ago. In the world of fashion, your past is like a piece of clothing stained with mud. Once tainted, it can never be washed clean.
Ah,
They claim
jeez.
that most of your clientele are criminals and that those who buy your clothes are just like you. People who silence all dissent with violence.
The absurdity. I don't even know which part to laugh at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's no laughing matter. Maybe your clientele are criminals. Maybe they're not. There's even the possibility that they're just people who happen to commit crimes after buying your clothes.
It's
But with the way this
possible.
article combines fact with rumor, Trying to determine the truth is practically an exercise of futility.
Hmm.
It's not something people are just going to forget about in a day or two, especially when they've found several people to back up their claims.
Venger, are you sure you won't reconsider?
Mm-hmm.
If we go through with the show together, we can defeat them fair and square.
Well,
If I were younger, I might have said yes.
so you're
But
saying
I'm
no.
no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I've got the family business to consider now. I'd be
Oh, that's
perfectly
a
happy to work
mess.
with you again after this, but my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her implicated in all of this. She doesn't deserve to be swarmed by all that negative publicity.
Well, it's
I
a mess.
understand.
Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori. For old time's sake. Let this Fashion Week go.
You're free to wait things out, Venger.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what's gotten you into all this trouble?
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way for my success?
Well, fair enough.
Hmm.
Then I suppose all there's left to say is best of luck. As for the models, none of them wanted to be implicated in all of this either.
Understood.
Jeez.
Take care.
Mm-hmm.
So, what should we do now?
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
Mm-hmm.
How could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with violent criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Can't people tell this is just a bunch of lies?
Apparently
Public
not.
opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. It's about echoing the loudest voice in the room. I should have seen it from the beginning. Uter knows me too well. Everything that happened yesterday was just a trap.
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sounds like it.
Traveler! Paimon!
Hmm?
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Probably writing papers.
Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
You mean
Yep.
that sorry excuse for an article? Oh, just thinking about it makes Paimon's blood boil.
You too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not all papers in Fontaine share our same sense of journalistic integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. I was just about to find some people to interview so that I can write an article to refute all those claims. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's people who misrepresent and distort the facts.
Mm-hmm.
With your help, we might be able to get some people back on our side.
Mm-hmm.
It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori several times. I know she's not the kind of person that article makes her out to be. She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera, Monsieur Verite.
Alright.
Speaking of Miss Chiori, do you know where she went? Alof told me you were all together.
Think she ran off.
She was just here. Maybe she went over there? Let's go check.
Yep. Going and check in sounds reasonable enough. Then...
If you ask me, I think Chiori Boutique is done for.
I mean, what did they expect? Engaging with criminals behind their customers' back.
They kept up a solid front, though.
Hmm.
I've even bought from them before. Really? How was it? The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure. Makes sense if she regularly deals with...
Yeah, baseless rumors are baseless.
Oh no, we've lost her.
Seems to be the case.
Hear what all those people were saying? Paimon can't believe they bought all that nonsense.
Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews, so the general public hasn't had a chance to really get to know her. It's also true
That's
that her way
fair.
of dealing with things can be a little extreme sometimes. It's easy to use that to mislead people who don't know anything else about her.
fault. Paimon would pick him up and throw him across the room too if she could. Wait a second. You don't think Chiori might have gone looking for him, do you? You know, so she can,
That would only make the situation worse
Mhm.
for her. I'm sure.
You've
Yep.
got a point. Let's just return to the boutique and see if she's there then.
That sounds fair enough. Seems like we're getting teleported there.
Oh, who's this?
Hmm.
This is Miss Letitia. She's also here to see Miss Chiori.
Hmm.
Oh,
Alright.
you're the one who came to collect the wedding dress yesterday, right?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if there's anything I can do to help her out, I'd be more than willing.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, so you've come across that article as well.
Sounds like
Yeah,
it.
you probably don't know this, but after I got engaged, I didn't think I'd be able to wear a Chioria dress on my wedding day.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Money? Maybe.
My fiance owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of mora, but we get by. After he proposed, he took me to Chioria Boutique, and we put down a custom order for a dress. He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori's clothes and how pretty they were. Being able to wear one of her dresses to my wedding has always been my dream. And then?
Mm-hmm.
And then, something happened to the business. And we ran into major mora problems. We were able to scrounge up enough to pay off our debts, but it left us without the funds to pay for the dress.
But
Mm-hmm.
didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress from what was left of the original deposit?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. When I came to cancel the order, she asked if something happened, and I told her everything. She
Mm-hmm.
heard me out, and then told me not to worry. She assured me that the deposit I paid would be enough for the dress, and that she'd be able to finish making it in time as well.
Mm-hmm.
She promised that I'd be able to wear a Chihoria dress on my wedding day. Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I've always known Miss Chiori to be a woman of her word. It is good. It's just, after I went home yesterday, I couldn't help but take out the dress and try it on. My fiance happened to walk into the room and when he saw me, he froze on the spot. Ah, what a shame. He's not supposed to see it until the wedding day.
Yep.
Well, see, that wasn't actually the issue. He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw it,
Alright.
he knew for sure that it must have cost far more than what we paid. Huh? So wait, that means... Yeah. Miss Chihori covered all the costs and held nothing back. The fabric, accessories, beading, construction. It was all of the highest quality.
It's fair enough.
Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece I'm writing about the boutique. Would you mind going on the record? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it would help Miss Chihori out, I wouldn't mind at all.
Hmm.
I think it'd go a long way. Your real experience is more powerful than all those lies combined.
Hey,
Alright.
has Chiori come back here since we left?
Huh? I thought you were all together.
We were.
We were.
Mm-hmm.
If she didn't come back here, then do you know of any other places she could have gone?
That's an excellent question.
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would always go there whenever she was upset.
In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia, and you two can go look for Miss Chiori.
That sounds good.
Alright, sounds good.
I'm echoing Paimon way too much today, it seems. I do have a random pin here. No reason. Well. I'll just take it. Yep. There she is.
There you are, Chiori.
Uh-huh. How did you know where I... Eilaf told you, didn't she?
Yep, she did.
We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress. So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get some fresh air.
Alright.
Want to sit here with me? The view's quite stunning. Sorry about that. I'm the only one here most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
alright, don't mind if we do.
Hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
how does it feel?
This place is pretty great.
Right?
Quite the
It's
view, it
quiet and
seems.
open, and far from the relentless critique from fashion commentators and the media. It's just you and the beautiful scenery.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
I didn't grow up in a very strict family. My parents would joke that I grew up to be so assertive because they spoiled me as a child. I would get together with the other children to climb trees and explore caves. One time, I even climbed over the walls of the Kamisato estate. One of the servants had to physically remove me.
Whoa, Paimon would have never imagined that.
But even as
It's quite the
rambunctious as I was,
troublemaker.
when it came to needlework, I was as quiet and focused as could be. It was as if I
Hmm.
discovered a whole new world within those bright red,
Alright.
dazzling fabrics. You know the feeling?
Sorta.
My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tailor. It wasn't long before I had driven away pretty much every master tailor on the archipelago. You could say I really tried their patience.
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't
Sounds like
misbehaved
it.
exactly. I just often had strange ideas when it came to fashion. Ones that weren't in line with traditional ways of doing things.
Hmm.
On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting me to be at their beck and call.
Hmm.
Anyway, a
Alright.
few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master. Worse, not one shop was willing to hire me. Not even to do grunt work.
No wonder you left Inazuma.
I was angry and frustrated. So, before I left, I swore to all those masters that my brand would one day become renowned all over Teyvat.
Hmm.
Well, that's a
Alright.
great dream to strive towards.
After that, I came all the way to the court of Fontaine, a city often referred to as the capital of arts and fashion. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I was living in a small cramped room, but I was finally free to make whatever I wanted. I had a far more naive view of fashion
Mm-hmm.
back then. As
That's
long as
fair, I
something was pretty, it would
suppose.
become popular, right? A simple concept, surely. Of course, as I spent more and more time in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
I learned nothing was ever that simple. Least of all, fashion. Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah,
Yep.
she did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. That's the first time I ever heard something like that from one of my customers. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become someone else's.
Hmm.
Alright, that's enough sightseeing for one day. Time to come up with a way out of this mess.
That's
Ooh,
fair, I
looks like you've got your
suppose.
game face back.
Back? It was never gone to begin with. I did say I wasn't upset, didn't I?
Paimon thinks we should
Yep.
look for evidence that Uter wrote that article, and that he hired those treasure hoarders to attack Kirara.
Mm.
Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those
Yep.
nasty rumors, so
That
we
was
can
work
publish
out.
all our findings in the Steambird once we're done.
I don't like duking it out in the press. But if Charlotte's thrown her hat in the ring, I won't stop her either. I know
Mm-hmm.
where Uter's clothing factory is located.
Sounds good. As for Fashion Week, well, there's always
Huh? When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating evidence or participate in Fashion Week. I'm doing both.
That's pretty bold.
your accessories. Didn't you say your designs were unusable without them?
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that, but to tell
Mm-hmm.
you the truth, even here in Fontaine, every time I see the sea, I can't help but remember Inazuma and the vow I made in front of those masters. Thinking about all that, I just
Alright.
can't bear to take even one step back.
What do
The sea. Sea. I've got it.
Hmm.
got...
Come, let's take a dip, shall we?
Take a dip, alright. Guessing she's looking. Dive into the sea. Here?
Shiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Hmm.
Paimon,
Materials, it
what do you
seems.
think is the most beautiful thing in the sea?
A Lumitoile? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, coral's pretty too. Ah, Paimon gets it now!
Hmm.
You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, let me grab some, would you?
Leave it to us.
Sure, so there's just a specific type of accessory so that way the player doesn't accidentally use it in something. That's fair, I
That
suppose.
should be enough, right? Paimon picked all the prettiest ones in this area. Shiori, will these do?
Everything.
Great! So are we gonna...
Yes, but don't forget, we've got more than just the designs to worry about when we get back.
Looking for evidence. At least the game is gracious enough to just teleport.
Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories. Next, we'll need to use what we have on hand to create some new outfits.
Mm-hmm.
You mean we have to start from scratch?
Makes sense.
Will there be enough time?
I should be able to make it if I skip out on sleep.
Jeez.
No, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is giving Paimon
Ganyu?
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
a friend of ours who does way too much overtime?
Yep.
Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna convince Paimon otherwise.
Well, I can't argue with you there. One thing's for sure, though. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
All this grit and determination. It reminds me of the first fashion week I ever participated in.
Skip out on sleep as well.
Let me see. I suppose all there's left to do is tear up all the outfits currently on display.
Alright.
Wait, what did you just say?
Tear Polly
You heard
out.
me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first fashion week, I had no savings to speak of. Just a few dozen yards of fabric and a dream. I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma. And I used the scraps to make the entries for the
Alright.
show. I used the larger pieces for the big. If it worked back then, why not now? We can also repurpose some of the ready-to-use accessories in the shop as well.
You worked so hard.
I know. That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste. I'm not going to let them win, even if it takes everything I've ever made
Alright.
and more. No need to be nervous. I won't, of course. If anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day, I'd probably toss them into the sewer.
Fair.
Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good job. That should do it.
Shiori, are you alright? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up and... Whoa. Who did this?
Mm-hmm.
Those monsters. Slandering you. Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes.
Maybe you should calm down a bit first, cause you see,
Mm-hmm.
What is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear up the outfits. We need all the fabric and accessories we can get.
Oh. So that's what happened. I guess I got a bit ahead of myself just now.
Yep.
Back to what you were doing, everyone. You can all just pretend like I didn't say anything.
Fair.
Sure is scary when she's angry.
there's one
Mm-hmm.
thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No one's gonna orchestrate some conspiracy to take down one of my friends and get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
You and Chiori are really close.
Of
Yep.
course! Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town. All of the Spina di Rosula's formal wear is custom tailored here.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a uniform. That's why I didn't ask you in the first place, silly. Plus, with how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the Spina, you're more of an intelligence agency than a fashion boutique.
If I had
Fair.
it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me, how can the Spina be of service to you?
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work? I'll need all the help I can get if I'm going to finish these outfits over the next few days.
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. I just knew you wouldn't be intimidated into withdrawing from this year's show. When are you going to get started? I can help with sewing too.
Actually, there's something else I'd like to ask of you.
Ask
Alright.
away. I'm
Probably
all
find
ears.
evidence.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette? I'll need their help as well.
Sure.
Done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet? Oh! What happened to the... Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every last one lands a full feature on the front page of the Steam Journal.
Jeez. Again.
Not this again.
Yep.
What should we do about...
Sort them by the type of fabric.
That sounds pretty
Mhm.
straightforward.
Well, time to find the pair of magicians. Yes. So we will be heading straight towards there. Dun, dun, dun. And it seems like they're in this good old place, which pretty sure we've seen them multiple times before here.
Linny, Lynette! Great, you're both here.
Yep.
A moment later and you'd have missed us.
We read the article in the papers. We were just about to go find Miss Chiori. She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances. The time has come, it seems, for us to return the favor.
Perfect. She was the one who said
That sounds fair enough.
In that case, I assume that there's something we can do to help. Just say the word and we'll take care of it.
Okay, so it's like this.
Yep.
Is that all we'll need to do?
Should be a piece of cake for the two of us.
Paimon's glad to hear it. Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some evidence for all. Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days.
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it?
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uter fair and square at the show. And then
Fair
defeat him
enough.
in the court of public opinion. She said,
A two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second.
yeah.
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll go make some preparations. See you at the venue in 2 days.
That works out. Guess then we need to find
Let's also
evidence
do
in the
as Chiori
meanwhile.
said, and meet up with her at Uter's factory in 2 days. Oh, Paimon sure hope.
Yep. Let's see. Wait, 2 days later. Sure. I'm just gonna do this because. Yeah, we're just gonna be focusing on this today. Dun, 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 dun. Well, almost done. Just a tiny bit more. And we've waited to this.
Lizard tail.
meeting up in the sewer? Well, that's one place to meet up, I suppose.
Oh, you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Chiori, how are the new outfits coming along? You look kinda tired.
That's fair.
Just a few steps left now. I've handed the rest over to Alof. We should be able to make tonight's show.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cutting it real close. Are you sure she'll be okay without you?
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for tonight, Uter has closed his factory. This is our only chance to secure any incriminating evidence.
Alright.
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is all his fault and he totally deserves it, but wouldn't we technically be trespassing on his property if we just barge in like this?
His factory is usually open to the public. It may not be open for business right now, but that doesn't mean visitors can't stop by for a tour. We're
It's
just
fair, I
curious customers
suppose.
after all, aren't we?
Well, when you put it that way.
Anyway, Uter's factory is right over there. Let's hurry up and get
It's-
moving.
If
Why would
it's
he open a factory over there?
We have different
no
marketing
idea.
strategies. While I specialize in high-end custom garments, he prefers low prices and large sales volumes. I don't know. Maybe the rent here is cheap.
Probably.
Alright.
It should be cheap here.
It's really creepy. Paimon would never choose to buy anything from a place like that.
You make a good point.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Never mind. I suppose this factory is a bit higher than that. Oh yeah, it's on this really awkward location. I hope his rent is cheap or free. I'm first gonna try it without the recommended element. If we need to go back, we start it. It's fine. Oh, we have her as a charachter. Sure.
We're in. There really is nobody here.
Welcome,
Yep.
dear visitors.
Oh, Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Please follow me, dear guests.
Sure. Well, let's see.
First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand.
Okay.
After that,
Seems
we
pretty.
welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Huh. Uter seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the studio where our designs are made. Please.
Alright. Seems pretty normal so far.
These are the fitting rooms. Please use them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why did the door just close?
Hold on tight, Paimon.
Why is it moving?
I don't think fitting rooms are supposed to be moving like this. And why is there music from the Fortress of Maripine?
Where did this thing take us?
It seems like we're someplace deeper inside the factory.
Well, well, let's see where in the world this is comes out into. Eh.
Boba, get them!
Mm-hmm.
You can't run. That's gonna hurt in the morning.
Hmm.
Lend me a hand.
Well,
Delicate
let's.
as silk.
That's quite the fancy animation, but I'm guessing that makes sense. Then. Yep. Let's just go ahead and open up this chest. I don't see anything in here. Seems like this factory also might not qualify for safety standards.
This place is filthy! Are the clothes from Uter's shop seriously made here?
I mean, it looks
Whoa
like.
there.
Ugh. That water looks super nasty!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Paimon can smell the stench from all the way over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the one using unsafe materials, Uter?
So he was
Sounds
actually the
like
one
it.
who opened an underground factory.
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch.
Hmm.
He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes made here even be worn?
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading.
Yeah.
These materials can give you skin problems if you wear them too often.
Oh, jeez.
Terrifying! Let's take some photos right away as evidence. This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court. Alright, let's keep going.
Yeah. Could probably. A tutorial? Okay. That's quite surprising. Command can cause it to dash forward, hold to aim in just the direction of set dash. Okay, let's see.
Huh? Doesn't look like there's a path here.
Follow me. Let's go up.
Yep, that works out. That dash is pretty nice.
This place seems like some kind of warehouse. Ugh, and it stinks too. Huh?
Yep.
What's going on? Our way in's been blocked.
I mean, this place isn't up to code, so.
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
You
Hmm.
did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Yes.
Hmm.
And that's because...
But you're practically at
Hmm.
each other's throats. Now you're telling us you used to work together?
Apparently.
When I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. We shared the same goal, so we decided to work together. In the beginning,
Alright.
we both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd and shatter tradition. The kind of clothes that would turn heads and leave people in awe. But with every criticism we received, and every sponsor that rejected us, Uter's confidence disappeared little by little. Finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion that we wouldn't be able to make the designs we always dreamed of. And we parted ways. For my part,
Alright.
I gambled it all, and devoted everything I had to that 1 week. I came out the other side with something that really made me proud. I was nervous to present it, of course, but I knew it was my chance to show the industry what I was made of.
That all makes
In the
sense.
end, well,
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while Uter gave up on his dream and turned to making this sketchy stuff.
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that. All I know is, after I opened Chiore Boutique, he's harassed me every year since.
Jeez.
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished. A guy like that doesn't deserve your sympathy.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first.
Yep.
Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
There are some control panels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that doesn't seem to have done anything.
Well, let's see.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Hmm.
I am the cutting edge of fashion.
Warning, warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Hmm.
You're toast!
Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering
Oh,
expulsion
will you shush it?
Into the fire!
You can't run.
Mm-hmm.
unauthorized intruders.
Look over there.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like there's a way out. Maybe we can use these mechanisms to get higher.
Yep. Also, I don't know what he thinks he can accomplish by that. Like, even if he does win Fashion Week, he might be in trouble with the courts over more than just trying to market travel.
Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Creepy.
Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Yeah, I'm also having a bit of trouble with the fact that your factory even has that built in.
We finally made it out. Hi? Why does it feel like the movement patterns of those mechs have changed?
Warning.
I think the
Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure.
down procedure. Well, talk about not following protocol in any way whatsoever.
Initiating shutdown procedure.
Oh, come on. Then, must say the cooldown on her ability seems to be a bit long. Also, it's pointing me there, but
Unauthorized intruders. Initiating shutdown procedure.
am I not supposed to go here? Well, this water seems to be semi-clean, but he's gonna be in big trouble, I feel like. Also, I think we accidentally did a shortcut, but that's fine with me.
We're finally out of that stinky place. Let's take this
Mm-hmm.
evidence and get out of here.
Yep. Alright.
Finally, the entrance. At last.
Mm-hmm. Oh, seems like there's guard mechs, but you can probably trash them.
Oh, those chambers couldn't hold you, I see. What a surprise.
We've collected a bunch of evidence on all the nasty stuff happening at your factory. You're not getting away this time, Uter.
Yep.
Evidence on your person, you mean? What makes you think I have any intention of letting it get past these walls?
More mechanical guards? Really? Ever thought about using these funds for a legitimate purpose?
Oh, but this is a legitimate purpose.
Right.
Destroying Chioria Boutique? Or continuing to make your rotten rags?
Proving that fashion is merely a laughable farce. A carnival of ignorance.
Jeez.
You know what your problem is, Uter? You've become so obsessed with the concept of fashion itself that you let it paralyze you. Stop trying to cater to it. Focus on your own work, and you get to decide what fashion means.
Fair.
Spare me the lecture, why don't you? Sooner or later, you'll cater to all the voices too, you know. After all, what is fashion but another form of public opinion?
Fashion is about aspiring towards a certain ideal, but it's up to you to decide what it is. My brand caters to no one but myself and my vision. That's my ideal, and it's not.
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall, they'll understand how laughable that ideal truly is.
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time?
Jeez.
Your jaded understanding of the industry is the reason you've had it out for my brand for so long? You weren't like this before, Uter. What happened to the man who wanted to make something that would bring the entire world to its knees?
He seems to have
I
disappeared.
realized long ago how utterly naive and ridiculous that dream was.
You gave up on your dream, but that wasn't enough, was it? You had to find a way to prove to yourself that it could never have been possible at all. You think you understand, but you're just a bitter man who let his regrets dictate his choices. You regret giving up on your dream. This whole thing, Uter. It's pathetic.
Yep, it is.
Why don't you take a look in the mirror? You're a fool daydreaming about taking all of Tibet by storm. Well, good luck doing.
You're right. Maybe all those who pursue their dreams are fools. More pitiful still are cowards who are too afraid to even attempt what the fool is brave enough to try.
You.
Yeah, just leave this guy to us.
No, you go instead. It'll be fine. Just go to the venue and tell everyone to proceed with the plan. I'll deal with him. Some lessons are best delivered.
Catch up with us.
Trying to leave, are we?
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. But all that changed after our tour of your factory.
Still trying.
No matter what you've been through, no matter why you've become like this, if I may borrow the words of a friend, a guy like you doesn't deserve my sympathy.
Yep.
Allow me to show you the true me.
He's gonna get a beat.
The Chioria brand represents more than a person or a trademark. It's a way of life.
Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chioria Boutique has prepared for you today.
Alright.
Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly,
An enduring, never say die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chioria brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself.
Did Chiori not...
Lights, cameras, over here, please.
Let the show begin.
the world may change, fashion along with it, but Chioria
Okay.
will remain the same. No challenge is too great. Chioria caters to no one, not even the times. Rather, Chioria will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget. Only those who do not give up on their dreams are worthy of this brand. Well then, I suppose all that's left to say is, Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers.
I kind of want to know what happens to. I'm guessing he's in trouble.
How about
A little more to the left.
Hmm.
like this?
Perfect.
Hmm.
Oh, that looks great! Miss Chiori,
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made
That
it
works
before
out.
Fashion Week. I figured it'd be best to put it up after the success of the show.
Well, how can you become renowned through all of Tevat without a fancy signboard of your own? The Spina's way ahead of you in that regard.
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin cat and the Bogglecat box. Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course.
Fair enough.
So, does that mean your signboard is going?
Ooh, that sounds super snuggly and warm. And a bit cramped. Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along.
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist's duty.
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need.
Huh?
Of course. The same goes for you too, Linny and Lynette.
What about something other than a car?
Thank you, Chiori. It's much appreciated.
Well, I don't really need anything.
Hmm.
Just don't be a stranger, all right?
I don't
Sounds
need
fair
anything either.
enough.
So long as you continue to request my international courier services from Komania Express.
Actually, that reminds me.
About that.
The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special vehicle for you, so you can just get in and we'll push it all the way out of our town.
Sunglasses.
What? No, that's so embarrassing. Ooh, do we get something nice too, Chiori?
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show, appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization, using weaponry in public, hosting a dangerous performance.
Shivers,
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at your earliest convenience.
You heard
Alright.
that, didn't you? You nearly scared me half to death.
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and tell me in advance?
And if I had...
Would no, but it would have at least spared me a whole lot of anxiety.
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Fleuve Sandra, and the man responsible all tied up and handed to you on a silver platter. Sounds pretty thoughtful if you ask me.
All right, I won't argue with you. You can have it.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves an.
I'll have to take a rain check. I've still got a lot of paperwork to take care of, so you all go have fun.
Alright.
By the way, Chiori, I ran into Vanger on the way here. He had a message for you.
I don't
A
need to hear it.
message.
I'm sure the old fool used pretty much every apology in the book. I'll just visit him some other day and give him a hard time about everything.
Okay.
You know him well.
Thanks again, Shelvrus.
My pleasure. Oh, and one last thing.
Don't
That
go
was really
causing
quite
trouble.
An amazing show.
Oh. That's a surprise.
You don't say.
All right. Follow me if you want in on the celebration feast. Come on, we're leaving.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let Navia know.
A place with a view?
Perfect.
Yeah, the cliffside, right? Yep. The cliffside. Well, apparently she wants to discuss something, no idea what, but we will see. What this something is. Dun. Go to the agreed location. Sounds good to me.
Sorry to keep you
Dun.
waiting.
Oh, we didn't wait long at all. But what did you want to give us that you couldn't share right in front of everyone else?
Here, take that.
Let's see what it is.
Oh, wow! A brooch! And in the style of Curia Boutique, too!
Yep.
Wait, Paimon gets one as well?
I've only made 2 for now. After much consideration, I decided to give them to you two. You've been a great help. Even when things were looking bleak, you stayed by my side. There were even times when I felt like I had to fight back and win. Even if it was just to honor the trust that you had in me.
Well, we
That's fair
Little,
enough.
but Paimon would say you deserve most of the credit. This result, it was all you, Chiori.
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so long that I've come to understand something. Apart
Oh?
from conviction and persistence,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that matters most is having friends who believe in you even when you don't believe in yourself.
It's
A single
fair, I
person can
suppose.
only do so much. Without all your help, Chioriya Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Well, Paimon doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point. Not if you had anything to say about it. But,
Yeah, quite the
about
fierce
the
owner.
stuff you said at the show, you aren't worried it'll rub some people the wrong way?
Perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I won't bow or scrape before any force in this world, much less any individual. I'm confident in the quality of my work. Create something beautiful, and there will always be people who appreciate it.
Well,
Fair enough.
there's nothing to worry about then. Should we go back and join them at the victory feast?
That sounds like a
Yes,
plan, I think.
of course. But before that, I'd like to admire the view for just a little while longer. You know, of all the nights I've spent in Fontaine, I'd say this is the loveliest by far.
Alright. Quest complete. That's quite a nice story quest, I would say. Dun, dun. So, yeah, we got like 4 more to go. Probably not gonna get them all done today, but sure. To find it, yes, to find it for stroller at Poseidon. I mean, sure, there's a child who doesn't exist. No idea what to make out of that, but we will see.
Hey, traveler, Paimon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Paimon knows that voice.
Lenny. We've just seen in the other
Over
story
here.
quest. Dun, 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 dun,
To borrow
dun.
one of the more popular turns of phrase
Hmm.
at the moment, this appears to be quite the fated reunion. Running into you two out of the blue like this has really made my day. I certainly wasn't expecting it.
That's
You
fair.
can say that again. What brings you to Poisson? Wait, Paimon's got it. You must be here for one of your magic shows, right?
Actually, we've run into a bit of trouble on the home front, so Father arranged for us to stay in Poisson for the time being.
Alright.
Are Lynette and Fremine here too?
Probably.
Yep, along with most of the other members of the House of the Hearth. You may have noticed Poisson seems a bit more crowded than usual.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Really, the entire organization has moved to Poisson? Sounds like you've run into way more than just a bit of trouble. What's really going on?
Well...
Probably not allowed
Since
to
the two
tell
of you are
that.
so curious, perhaps I can fill in the gaps.
Alright.
You scared Paimon half to death.
The knave.
Father, you're here.
Yep.
You know, on second thought, maybe we don't need to know. It's all probably super confidential House of the Hearth stuff, right? We totally
That's
weren't trying to
possible.
pry or anything.
No need to be nervous. I could sense your genuine concern from your conversation just now. Of course, I can also understand your confusion. Sending so many Fatui here to Poisson, it's only natural that some might suspect an ulterior motive to be involved.
Yeah, we still have our reservations about your
I
organizations.
understand. I'm well aware you've had your fair share of confrontations with the Fatui in the past.
Yep.
I can't exactly guarantee that we'll remain on good terms in the future. As for right now, however, I would say we have little reason to be at odds, wouldn't you agree? The House of the Hearth could stand to be more open with those who have worked so closely with us in the past.
We have
As for
also
the
worked
issue at
with them,
hand,
indeed.
Well, it hardly relates to any ulterior motive. To be frank, it all stems from a certain rumor circulating around the House of the Hearth.
A
It's
rumor,
an
you
internal
say?
matter.
What sort of rumor?
A rumor that a certain phantom child is hiding away in the House of the Hearth.
A
Hmm.
phantom child. Ooh, just hearing the name is giving Paimon the creeps.
A spirit that should have long ceased to exist is lurking in the shadows of the House of the Hearth. So I decided
Okay.
to bring the children to Poisson before continuing to investigate the situation. I expect I should be able to track down the spirit fairly quickly. After that, it's just a matter of resolving the situation, if you will. It shouldn't be much trouble at all.
That
If you're
sounds fair
curious,
enough.
or if you still have some concerns, it might be advisable to stick around for a few days. I'm sure the children would be exceedingly pleased to welcome some visitors. Lenny, I'll leave
Sure.
you to entertain our guests. I have some matters to attend to.
Of course, Father.
That sounds fair enough. I'd be so scared. No idea
It
why.
has long been a dream of mine to invite you to our home and introduce you to my other siblings. You're quite well known in the organization already. A lot of people have been talking about you, especially after everything with the prophecy. If you're willing, why don't you stay a while and have a little chat with us?
Alright. We don't have anything else to do right now anyway. But let's be clear, we're just gonna be there as guests, okay? Don't get any funny. Oh, wait a second.
That's fair.
If we're your guests, that probably means we'll be treated to lots of yummy food, right?
Of course. During our stay in
Of
Poisson,
course.
we've been helping out the locals with some fishing. We bring in quite the bounty every day. In fact, today's the perfect chance for me to show you what I can do in the kitchen. Let's go. I'll take you to where we're
Sure.
staying.
Be a house guest. Oh, sure. Well, let's see. Is there reached? Ah, it's here.
We rented this house from one of the locals to use as a temporary base. I'll come back later and tidy up a bit. After that, it should be all ready for you to stay in tonight.
Awesome, thanks! So, where are we off to?
Well, when I happened to run into you two earlier, I was actually in the middle of distributing some supplies. With this many people staying in Poisson, we have to bring in
makes
outside
sense.
supplies every now and then. I
Yeah,
should
some
probably make
logistics.
sure the rest of these provisions get delivered. Otherwise, people might start to get antsy.
Okay, we'll come with. There are all sorts of rumors about your organization floating around
Yep.
out there. Paimon's not sure if she could even take a wild guess as to what's true and what's not.
Probably
Now that we
you can
finally
take
have
a
the chance
guess.
to see a day in the life of the house, we can take a good look at how you operate.
Well,
I
you're more than
mean,
welcome to come
sure.
along. Just follow me.
Yeah, these are probably the more public facing side of the organization, so probably none of the shady stuff.
Linny, you're finally here. The supplies. I'm assuming you've...
Brought them with me? Yep, here you go. Hello? Something caught your eye?
Probably.
It's the Traveler in Paimon!
Yep.
No way!
Hmm.
Come here, everyone! Hurry! The Traveler and Paimon are here!
They're like a celebrity.
One at a time, please. Don't crowd around them all at once. We don't want to scare off our guests now, do we?
Oh, it's alright! Gotta say, Paimon didn't realize we were this famous.
Of course! Father and Linny have told us so much about you.
Father told us about how you helped Linny. According to her, you're a trustworthy friend. And as far as she's concerned, that's pretty much the highest compliment we've ever heard her give. As you can imagine, everyone's been very curious about you.
That's fair, I
Traveler
suppose.
is so strong that she can move a mountain with her bare hands.
Paimon eats so much that she can clean out the entire pantry at Hotel Tabor in just 3 days.
the second one I can believe.
Rumor you heard about Paimon? Oh, not cool at all.
Mine's also a bit of a stretch.
Guests visit, you're supposed to give them gifts and stuff, right?
Oh, we don't need something like that. Besides, we don't have anything to give to you. Come on, we insist. I can give you some of my new potions. Just pick your poison. And by that, I mean medicine or actual poison. Both.
Why do you have both?
Or maybe Shaplo can teach you guys about stealth. He's super good at it. He's never been caught.
Ah, now that's not a bad idea. I know you usually prefer to fight head on, but it never hurts to expand your bag of tricks, right? I was poisoned not too long ago, and I'm still dealing with the after effects. So I'm not quite as good as I...
Wait. When you said gifts, Paimon didn't think you meant poison.
Jeez.
Tactics.
But those are the best things we can give you. You don't like them? Ooh, how about this? Tell me the name of some...
All right, Fold Selwar. I think that's enough suggestions for now. When it comes to being a good host, it's the thought that counts. You don't need a physical gift to make our guests happy. In fact, pestering them with suggestion after suggestion might make them more annoyed than anything. I would say your enthusiasm has certainly gotten across.
Really?
Absolutely.
Awesome! It's been so long since we have had guests to play with. If there's anything you need, just let us know.
To play with, jeez.
Especially if it's poison or something. I've got all sorts of potions for that.
What is your obsession with that?
Talk to you all later. We've still got supplies to...
All right, see you later.
Bye. About all that poison.
Scared you, did it? That kind of talk comes with being part of the House of the Hearth. When Foltz
Fair, I
was really
suppose.
young, he strangled all of his family pets, just out of curiosity. He was labeled a dangerous problem child and was abandoned by his family. Elwar has an unnatural obsession with potions. Father has forbidden her from trying all the different concoctions she comes up with, but she still tries to test them in secret. You really have to keep an eye on that one.
Makes sense.
Is around my age. While I'm mainly responsible for collecting intelligence, he handles surveillance. He's very passionate about his work and has no reservations about taking on some very difficult missions. I know you two
Fair, I
probably aren't used to
suppose.
that kind of talk, but I can promise you they only had the best of intentions. Things like stealth tactics and developing different poisons, they really mean a lot to them. They were just trying to share the best of what they could offer, that's all.
Fair, I suppose. But still. How shady do you want it? Also, I don't know if we took the most effective route, but yeah, that bridge probably was a bit faster. Alright, time to hear some more about poison and stuff.
Thanks. And who are these two? Outsiders?
Allow me to introduce you. This is the Traveler and Paimon.
Oh, you're the famous duo I've been hearing so much about. It's nice to meet you. I heard you've traveled to all sorts of places. Is that true?
Accurate.
We're making our way all across to that.
Oh, good for you.
You must be pretty familiar with Fontaine by now, then. Have you seen the new opera that started running recently? I think it's called... The 4,000 Thieves?
Oh, this is the first we've heard of it.
It seems like it's going to be fantastic. From what I've been able to tell from the posters, anyway. You should definitely check it out if you have the time.
I mean, why not?
There's the Blind Maiden, too. That one is supposed to have audience interaction. Seems pretty interesting.
Alright.
After this mission is over, I think I'll go get a manicure.
Oh, maybe I should dye my hair. Wonder how much it'll cost.
Probably a pretty penny.
Is it just Paimon, or do these two seem much easier to get along with than the others?
I heard
Mhm.
that.
Oh! Oops.
I'm guessing you're
Hmm.
referring to Foltz and the others? Yeah, we're definitely not all like them.
I bet those crazies are practically foaming at the mouth right now. I'm sure they just can't.
That's enough, Filial.
Don't talk about family members behind their back, right? Whatever. Let's go.
That sounds
Goodbye,
fair
then.
enough.
If you ever have some time, we should go see the opera together.
Well, that's it for the supply.
Yep.
Well, they didn't seem too happy with each other. Seems like there could be something more going on here.
Better not to
You're
cry.
right. Oh, Linny's getting...
As long as it's not in too bad. Yeah. And trinkets. Yep, and like 200 parts.
So, what do you think of the members you've met so far?
Yep.
Well, Father is always encouraging us to be strong-willed and independent. So if there's one thing we've got, it's people who aren't afraid to speak their mind. Well, I should
That's
probably
fair
get
enough.
Wanna join?
Of course!
Then let's head out and... Huh? Fremine? What are you doing here?
Well...
Fremine! Nice to see you again!
Oh, you too.
We were just going to make some food. Why don't you come along? I could use some help in the kitchen, and I seem to remember you mentioning you wanted to make seafood soup for the traveler and...
Seafood?
Were you looking for something just now, Fremine?
It's nothing. I just wanted to see if there were any extra supplies.
Yeah, we've got some left over. What?
Some food and water. And some clean cloth.
No problem. Give me a second here. Food, water, wait a minute. What do you need all of those for? You're not on any missions as far as I'm aware, and you were just going to come eat with us.
I thought...
Fremine, you remember what I told you? You're not like me. Your lying skills still need some work.
Yep.
Tell me what's going on.
Maybe it'll be better if we gave them...
This is the first time I've seen that kind of...
Just...
Alright.
I'm here.
Let's see what they're hiding. I'm guessing it's up here. Best area reached, but I still don't see anything happening, so not entirely sure what that means. I'm guessing it's nothing that high up. Well, underneath perhaps? Yep.
Oh,
Seems to be here.
friends with you this time.
Hello, my name's Linny.
Hi, Linny. I'm also a child of... You can call me...
Clairvy?
Nice. Does that name ring any...
No, not at all. That's not a name we have on our roster, I'm sure of it. What I'm not sure of, though, is how she managed to sneak in. She must be the phantom child Father's been searching
Hmm.
for. From the looks of it, I'm guessing you were the one that found her.
No, I haven't told anyone.
For how
Hmm.
long?
Yeah, for how long?
About half a month now.
So
2
ever since
weeks.
we got to Poisson, then. Do you have any idea what you're doing?
I know what I'm doing.
Really? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like you're hiding the very person Father has been trying to find. If Father you know the rules of the house, Fremine. I know you do. Father doesn't tolerate any form of betrayal. So why are you...
I've thought it through. And, Linny,
Hmm.
don't you remember last year? Chaplot nearly died after getting poisoned during that one mission.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't able to get back before the poison started taking effect, and not a single person was there to help him. That night, while I was sleeping, that feeling of being haunted, of hearing...
So what you're saying is... that was her? She was the one who spoke to you that night?
Unless there are other spirits roaming around the House of the Hearth. If Clairvy were our enemy, it wouldn't matter whether she was a spirit or an actual child.
Hmm.
But she's been living with us, helping us from the... I couldn't just hand her over to...
So what's your plan then?
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep her here forever. Someone is bound to find out eventually.
Yep.
I haven't thought that far yet.
Oh, jeez.
I don't want to disobey an order from Father, but I also don't want to put Clairvy in danger.
Come with me. There are a couple things I'd like to say to you in...
Mm-hmm.
Those two sure care a lot about each other.
Yep.
Well, they got a funny way of showing it. From where Paimon was floating, it sure seemed like they were about to... No way! They have a really deep bond. I just don't know how long that kind of bond can last.
Hmm.
Darkness in the house runs deeper than you can imagine.
I'm sorry, Linny.
Oh, really? You didn't mean to? 'Cause I, for one, wish you did.
Huh?
You know, when we were younger, you didn't call me Linny. We grew up together, the three of us. We were all orphans, all rescued by Father. Of all the siblings in the House of the Hearth, I think our bond was the closest. Later on, when you started calling me Linny, I wasn't actually surprised. After all, Lynette and I are related by blood. We've had to depend on each other to survive.
Linny,
The darkest and most difficult... You and Lynette are the most...
Oh, looks like things are getting kind of heated between Linny and Fremen. Oh, it's raining.
Hmm?
I should put my clothes away. Hey, you two! Hope we aren't interrupting anything. Oh, wait a minute, Fremine. Well, we're all friends here, right?
It's just a small family dispute. It's not something our guests should trouble themselves with.
What are you getting at?
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior. And any disputes are less likely to escalate. That's what you're trying... Just... Thank you. I was really hoping to keep you out of it. But even if I could think of some other reason to turn you away, I'm not sure I could convince you. I know things could turn dangerous, so I promise you this. From now on, I'll protect you like my life depends on it.
Me too.
Well, back to the matter at hand then. If we don't plan on handing Clairvy over to Father, then our only other option is to solve the mystery of her identity before Father is able to track her down. That means finding out where she came from and what she's doing here. Then we can send her on her merry way and pretend like...
I've tried that. And... nothing. She even came with us all the way to Poisson.
I don't know much about spirits.
Let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
Paimon remembers hearing something like... Oh, it's just that Paimon doesn't really remember where she heard that, so...
Well, sounds like it's worth a shot. Guess that means we should go ask her about her wish.
What is it?
I need you to promise me that this will stay between the two of us. We're the masterminds behind this whole thing.
Of course.
All right. Then let's seal the promise just like when we were kids. Fist bump on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I swear.
Seems like you're not that good at being stealthy yet.
But what a surprise! What brings you here, dear sister?
Mm-hmm.
And, when exactly did you get here?
Probably overheard the whole thing.
You're an idiot, brother. And you too, You 3, Traveler. And you 4, Paimon.
Wait, what did we do?
I've seen Clairvy around the House of the Hearth before. I hadn't seen her in Poisson, so I figured she must... I heard you talking about your plan. Rather than steering clear of the situation, I'd rather fully join it.
That's fair, I suppose.
If you don't agree, I'll have no choice but to report everything back to Father.
You're not giving us much well, I guess we're all in this together then. There's no time to lose.
Yep. Alright. Let's ask her some information.
I'm full. She said she's full, but the food doesn't look like it's even been touched.
That's right. Based on what I've been able to observe, still, when she's presented with food, she'll always linger around it for a good little...
Does she know that she has already passed away?
I've tried to ask her, but she didn't answer. My guess...
Clairvy, if you've got some time...
Sure. Oh, another new fellow.
Clairvy, how did you join?
Huh? The knave brings you here and then you can't leave.
It's just that... your name...
The roster? Oh, the people in charge. They're not as nice as they look.
Of course
They
not.
say they keep a roster, but it's not complete. There are a lot of people who aren't on it. In this house, some people are family and other people are just test subjects. Those Wait,
Is there anyone that can vouch for you?
Perry. She's my best friend. She's the only one
Have either of you heard of that name before?
No.
Me neither.
Clairvy.
Not on the roster.
Harry.
Indeed.
Neither of the... But it seems like she's telling the truth. Either that, or this kid's already got a bag of tricks bigger than mine. Maybe we should try a different approach. Clairvy, do you have a wish?
Wish?
It can be anything you want. Just imagine. It's your birthday, you're blowing out the candles.
To where the sun can That's it? Well, that sounds easy enough.
Yep.
The darkness in the house.
Okay, time to divide and conquer. I'll try and find a way to use basic illusory magic to take Clairvy outside and bring her Lynette, try and find the Fremine. You stay in Poisson. We can't be the only ones who've had run-ins with Clairvy.
Understood.
I'll try my best.
What about us?
I really appreciate your willingness to help, but this is let me think. Since Father considers you to be guests, maybe you could stick by her side for a little while. You don't need to do anything except keep up some nice, casual conversation.
Sure.
Paimon gets it.
I'll give you a magic bird. If Father suspects something, all you need to do is release it when she's not looking. And of course, that's only as a last resort. If Father doesn't seem to know if the worst case scenario happens, and you too.
Yep.
I really hope this goes well. No.
Well, I know the other waypoint is closer, but think this is more convenient. So, do some of the name stuff of the character and then out with the knave. Who's a member of the Fatui Rule? Yeah, you shouldn't trust those ever. Same with the Abyssal Order. And there's somebody else there, so.
It's the knave. And child.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, aren't you supposed to be in Snezhnaya recuperating?
Oh, it's you two. I didn't expect to run into you here. I was
Mhm.
unconscious for quite a while after the fight in the Primordial Sea. After I couldn't have that now, could I? Not when I've still got unfinished business in
Jeez.
Fontaine.
What sort of unfinished business are we
It has to do with Skirk, my master. I really wanted to meet up with her, but by the time I got back, she had already left. I still have so many questions for her. Without any other leads, all I could do was ask the knave to help me track her down. She must have
I
left behind some
suppose.
traces from her time in...
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, no. While the House of the Hearth is adept at collecting all manner of intelligence, certain existences can still manage to escape our purview.
Basically, unless Master feels there's a need to meet with me, she's not going to be found. But that problem has an easy fix. I just need to become strong.
Paimon thinks you should focus on getting better first.
Yeah.
The worst of it is over. It's all thanks to that one kid from the House of the Hearth. Elwar, I think her name was. She gave me a bunch of random potions to drink. They didn't go down easy, let me tell you. Pain and chills all over. But they really did help speed up my recovery. And
All
that's
of those
good,
are
because
probably
it looks like
poison.
I really do have to head back this time. The old man's been putting the pressure on me. He sent someone to tell...
Project Stuja?
Yeah, that's the one. I heard Regrador's involved too. I'm not looking forward to having to listen to all his monologuing, that's for sure. Hey, maybe you could think of a way for me... Helping Linny and the others brush up on their fighting skills would be far more interesting. If you and I could spar, that would be even better.
And what a sweet little daydream that is. But I also have a role to play besides. Considering how little they see fit to step outside the homeland, being called on to return to Snezhnaya by such illustrious dignitaries. What a great honor. Wouldn't you agree?
Right.
One I could do without, I'd say.
Is it just Paimon? Or does it kind of seem like they're...
Yeah.
So, dear guests of the House of the Hearth, to what do I owe the visit?
Well, right. We're super close.
Is that
Mm-hmm.
so?
Yep.
Introductions have already been made, have they not?
Oh, well, you see? There's only so much you can learn about someone from a short introduction. At least...
Good question. I'd also like to know.
The fact that you have to
Fair.
ask tells me our intelligence work has been quite successful. Telling you the answer to that question would only serve to undermine that success.
Spoken like a true diplomat. That was some expert sidestepping right there.
Well, if there's nothing else, I think I'll take my leave. I still have a small matter to resolve at home.
Wait, don't go!
I'd also like... I've met some of the members of your organization, and they all seemed like really... Which, by the way, if you ever betray them, I'm just letting you know.
And why would I betray them?
Well, you've already betrayed the House of the Hearth once, haven't you?
Huh?
Okay, I admit. That's just what the old man told me. The rooster, I mean.
Okay.
Wait.
Never mind what I've done. I'm more curious as to what the mighty rooster had to say. Care to enlighten me?
Well, nothing much. Just some stuff about you taking out many other members of the House of the Hearth, and even going so far to... Based on your reaction, I'm guessing it's all...
Hardly. I don't appreciate his particular turns of phrase. But I suppose he didn't say anything untrue, although
Hmm.
it would be more accurate to say that there is a certain level of prejudice involved. But I don't intend to clear that up just yet.
Hmm.
Prejudice has a
Alright.
funny way of concealing the real truth behind certain things, an attribute that I find to be quite advantageous. Call yourself a Fontanian, for example, and people will assume all sorts of things, when
Hmm.
the real truth is that this is simply the land where I was raised.
Hmm.
You're not actually from Fontaine?
Hmm.
I was trying to protect the children born in Fontaine.
Mm-hmm.
Claiming that I myself was a Fontanian simply made it easier to operate. People would hardly suspect a fellow Fontanian of having... The primordial sea wouldn't have any effect on me, but it would have caused great harm to the House of the Hearth. Well?
So, you stayed in Fontaine for the kids. I guess I was wrong to believe you'd betray them. Apologies. Looks like I was holding on to some prejudices myself.
Good. Like I said, I like it when others have misconceptions of me.
Actually, while I was recuperating at the House of the Hearth, I heard that members always resolve disputes and arguments with a friendly spar.
Alright.
And the loser has to back down. Seems pretty cool if you ask.
Well, that's only a recent development. In the past, such spars weren't nearly so... friendly. The losing party would lose everything, including their life.
They were that high stakes?
Well, the current atmosphere's not half bad. I'm a bit jealous, actually. You've got so many family members around you, and you even get to live with...
Having a lot of family around means dealing with a considerable amount of bickering and scheming. Once Tonya and Tusser enter their rebellious phase, I'm sure you'll understand. Just imagine. Tusser becomes obsessed with plucking out strands from the rooster's mustache, while Tonya decides to dye her hair 42 different colors.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, would you look at the time? Traveler, Paimon? I'm not sure where our
Again, maybe this is a conversation we can have when you look less like you're gonna keel over.
Yep.
All right.
No thanks necessary. You also played a part in obtaining the Gnosis.
I like the sound of that. Well, I'm off. See you all some other time.
Although technically they already made a deal with John at the time.
Oh? I'm rather enjoying the evening breeze. If you don't mind, I think I'll stick around. Apologies for not attending to you like a proper host. Please forgive this slight.
We managed to keep her distracted until nightfall. Good thing Child was there to keep the conversation going. You don't think she...
Well, let's return to Poisson. And probably have the knife.
I wonder if Liddy ran into any issues. Let's hurry back and see how everything went.
I'm hoping it went well, because makes sense the knife is gonna follow us. I don't think somebody like that would fall for a trick like that.
Lenny, how did everything go?
Well, long story short, we ran into a... Everything was fine at first. She followed... But as I led her out of the shadows and into the sunlight, she vanished. I turned around and there she was, standing at the edge of the shadows, silently watching me.
Maybe she's afraid of sunlight, or... No, it wouldn't be her wish if that were the case.
Probably more to it.
We could always try... Oh, true.
I've pretty much tried it all already. Nothing worked. How did...
Good. I've got the... Really? Well... Oh, that's a lot of pages. Oh, it's gonna take forever to get through it all.
We can each take a section. Here.
La Pouillade. Oh, yikes. That our rare guy?
I've met him before. The scar is from an injury he received during a mission. I still remember him joking with me about it. He said,
Did he...
well, I asked if there was someone he was interested in. It was only later that I learned he really did have someone he liked. He risked everything to escape so he could be with her, but...
Wait,
Hmm.
so that...
It may seem cruel, but it's just betrayal is not to be taken
Hmm.
lightly. We know too many secrets to come and go as we please.
Hmm. Alright.
Her name's not here, huh? Well, that's not too let's shift our attention then. Fremine, were you able to find... Fremine...
I managed to talk to quite a few people, but I couldn't help...
Strange.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I mean, I know there have been arguments in the past. Times when people have...
Oh, those are two of the people that we...
That's to be expected, actually.
Hmm.
Father brought us all here, shared her As members of the House of the Hearth, certain members get older and realize they want something else for themselves. But considering the rules of the house, most people would never... People like Chaplot and Foltz
Fair.
are loyal to Father and her vision. They're proud to be part of the Fatui.
These kinds of conflicts have always been there. It's not like Father isn't...
Well, that's true. I can't say for sure.
You think she's been inciting them to act out?
No,
Possible.
not exactly. But she's told me about it before.
And they just believed all that? With
Clairvy's words probably gave them the excuse they were looking for.
This is all because of Project Stuja, is...
Whoa. What's this Project Stooge?
Sorry, but I'm not sure if the... I only know what Father has told us, which is that it's something the Rooster and Regrader have been working on together. Apparently, it has to do with the Fatui's strategic plan for the future.
Alright.
Because the House of the Hearth was so successful in obtaining the Gnosis, we now have the honor of playing a key role.
Wait, but isn't that a...
Key role is just another way of saying dangerous role. To us,
Fair.
the whole thing is an inconvenience. Father thinks so too, but she's in no position to refuse. Their plan isn't exactly unreasonable, and they've been funneling the house a lot of funding. It's just that...
Fair enough.
We'll lose a lot of members in the process. Participating in the plan, it's an honor in name only. What they're really trying to do is...
Okay, super
External pressure has a way of exacerbating internal strife. You can't overlook the power of fear either. People are afraid of dying. I thought resolving the Clairvy situation would make everything go... But it looks like things are more complicated than I thought.
We can only focus on one situation at a time, brother.
You're right. Even if we confront Filial and the others, it won't do any good. Well, it's getting... Lynette, you stick with me this time. Fremine, keep a close eye on Filial and the others. Make sure they don't do anything they'll regret. Good work today, everyone.
Fair enough.
Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Sure.
Hey, you don't think the name... She's even scary when she smiles. If she were to actually get angry... You have to protect Paimon if that happens, okay, Traveler?
You can probably...
Trust is it? Look over there! Quick, let's catch up with her before anyone sees.
Yep. Let's see what she's up to now. She could stand to be a bit less non-subtle, but yeah.
Over there!
I'm guessing that's her nature at this point.
Oh, where is she going? Or if someone sees her, we're toast.
Yep. Up. If you can't stay in the sun, then I would say.
Oh, look! She stopped!
Hmm, I'm guessing you can consider it moonlight currently. Yep. Alright. That makes sense.
Clearly!
Mm-hmm.
Shh. I opened the window while no one was looking. Look how pretty the outside is.
Mm-hmm.
If only I could have more than this.
Hmm.
You probably think I'm being silly, huh? All this hopeless.
Please, help us get on the same page here, Clary. We need you to tell us what you know.
Yep.
Although, after you hear all this, I think you might regret that decision. Everyone in this family is nothing more than a tool. Something, as long as you're useful, you get to stick around. Lose your value, and you're handed over to the doctor, experimented on.
You're saying the knave? It's just, that doesn't seem like something she would do.
I knew you wouldn't, but everyone thinks
Mother?
But she doesn't deserve that title. She's disgraced it and tarnished it.
Hmm.
And if only Perry were here, she'd understand.
Hmm. Alright.
Also, Paimon's, it almost feels like she's not really here with us. Well, in any case, it seems like she looks so young.
It's getting windy. Ooh, look at the moon. Isn't it pretty? Hey, wanna hear a secret? Perry and I promised each other that once, but I can't find her. I'm worried she's all soup and... No, that wouldn't happen to her. She said I should really go talk to Mother, but we just fought. She doesn't want to see. What should I do?
Okay. It's still a bit vague, but sure.
Paimon really doesn't understand what's going on with her. Well, let's head back. We've got an...
Alright, night passes.
All right.
Let's see
Looks like we're all
what's
here.
next.
Let's go ahead with the plan.
Oh? What is it?
What makes you ask that?
Well, we met the doctor back in...
It's possible that Father and the doctor have had certain dealing. We're not really on the same side, so there's not a lot of trust between them. That doesn't exactly set the stage for a successful partnership. I did hear, though, that when Father first became a Harbinger, the doctor Father rejected most of his proposals, except for...
Secret experiment? Could that be what Clary was talking about?
That's possible.
I don't think so.
I don't know any details about the experiment itself, but I do know it's an entirely independent operation. The doctor only proposed a direction for the research. The details of the experiment are confidential, but complete records are kept on all participants. That doesn't seem to be the case with the situation. I know you don't agree with some of the Fatui's methods, and I'm not asking you to. But I am asking you to trust us on this.
Alright, that's good to hear at least. Clary seems to think the knave and the doctor worked together to do something horrible. It's just that it doesn't seem like Clary is lying either. The easiest thing to do would be just ask the knave directly, but...
Father didn't come back last night. She's probably still near the shore. Lynette, you're with me. All right.
Sure. And I'm suspecting she might not be there. But we will see. Then... Well, seems like the knave is there.
It's you two again. I must say, you look a bit...
A little.
Perhaps if you had less on your mind, you'd be able to absolve yourself of such troubles.
Hmm.
So what are you planning to do now? Catch up on some sleep? Or should I give you some time to rack your brain for a topic to discuss before I ask any questions? Although I must profess to being curious. Without child here, how do you plan on distracting me?
Yeah, figures.
Us? Distract.
Looks like you could have used some extra time to think. No matter. Don't worry. I'll be sure to steer clear of any scheming children.
The ocean breeze is sure nice today.
Children always think they can hide things from the grown-ups. But nothing gets past me. Least of all a little scheming. I think I'll let them have at it
That's
for a little
figures.
longer. I can be very patient. Well, I'll leave you to think things over. If you're so inclined, meet me outside the Palais Mermonia.
Fair
Good
enough.
things come to children who do as they're told. So I do hope you decide to tag along.
What should we do? She clearly knows about everything we've been doing, and Paimon doesn't think it'd be a... Oh, good idea. Well, we should probably head to the Palais Mermonia. Paimon doesn't want to find out what happens if we don't show up. Based on what... Okay, then we
Yep. Let's see what it's about. At the very least, it's a very public place, so probably no trouble.
Seeing as we still have some time before my meeting, we might as well enjoy. I'm glad to see you get along with my children. Being surrounded by good companions.
You're not planning on doing it.
I assume you're referring to Linny, Lynette, and although there's that situation with Filial and Nentoy as well. No matter. I'm not one to discriminate. All those who betray the house meet the
Does that mean you're going to kill them?
Oh, are you here to beg for their lives? I'm sorry to disappoint, but the rules of...
But don't you care?
Any organization in which feelings come before principles is one destined for ruin. The House of the Hearth is hardly an exception. You could say our principles are more stringent than most. Perhaps
Say the
I can
least.
offer you this consolation at least. As our guests, you two will not be held accountable along with them. I would imagine Linny, Lynette, and Fremine will be able to keep their lives. As for Filial, Nentoy, and the others, I'm afraid there's little I can do. They can try to escape, but... you seem concerned. Out of consideration for my guests, I suppose, if Linny and the others manage to dispose of Clairvy in the meantime, all evidence of their wrongdoing will be lost. In that case, I could hardly punish them for something I couldn't prove. If their efforts are unsuccessful, on the other hand, all will be held accountable. And the punishment will be severe. Of course. Oh, and here, I believe this belongs to you. Do try and keep better track of it next time. It takes a considerable amount of time to train a bird like this.
Wait, where did you get that?
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. I asked you to meet me here because I have business at the Palais Mermonia. It has nothing to do with you, but I think it would be prudent for you to stick by my side for the time being. There will always be time later to run. Well, time to go.
Well, let's see what we have here. Meeting with Novelette?
It's been a while, I must say. I wasn't expecting my meeting request to be approved quite so quickly.
It is only right that an esteemed diplomat such as yourself should be afforded the proper level of respect. Although, if I may speak plainly, I must confess that I did not anticipate we would have the occasion to meet again after presenting you with the Gnosis. I see you brought the Traveler and Paimon with you as well.
I'll be departing Fontaine shortly. There is, however, an outstanding matter. It requires a rather lengthy explanation, I'm afraid. So I took the liberty of explaining everything in this proposal.
Right. Let's see what this is about.
I understand your request. However, at the risk of causing offense, I must admit that I fail to see why you would wish for such.
I heard you have a certain fondness for water tasting, Monsieur Neuvillette. So allow me to use water as a family is like a large body of water. As someone who watches over this system, I would hope that each river that flows from the source will Of course, objectively speaking, I know this is impossible. Most of the rivers will dry up along the way, disappearing into the ground and leaving nothing but a barren riverbed behind. Not
Fair
all rivers
enough.
are destined to reach the ocean, but I would not see their existence rendered meaningless. I believe the water that flows with it.
Did you?
Your words paint an optimistic picture indeed. Allow me to remind you, however, few among us are willing to sip from a glass filled with tainted water.
It may have been tainted at one point in time, but not to worry. I'll make sure it's strained of all impurity.
I seem to recall there being a transactional aspect to your proposal.
If you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I will gradually withdraw my end, unless absolutely necessary. I will no longer.
I presume I can take your words to mean that, in the future, cases similar to the Tartuffe assassination will cease to cross my desk?
Tartuffe. Ah, that thief who embezzled funds from all those charities, you mean? My deepest condolences to his family, but without any evidence, I cannot imagine how the House of the... Of course, if you accept my proposal, Monsieur Neuvillette, I'm sure certain measures could be taken to reduce the frequency of such trouble.
You choose your words carefully indeed. In that case, I am inclined to accept your proposal.
My thanks for your generosity. Well, with that settled, we should be going now. I took the liberty of bringing along 2 bottles of spring water from Snezhnaya for you to enjoy. I do.
Indeed. I trust you would not overlook your commitment in the meantime.
All right, traveler Paimon.
Fair enough. Those kids are way out of their league.
So, what exactly were you talking about? Paimon only heard you mention some rivers.
You really want to know? I would imagine there might be more pressing.
Winnie, Paimon really hopes everything's... Oh, Paimon recognizes that look. You've got your thinking cap on, don't you, Trap?
Oh, shoot. Are you alright? Oh, jeez. I'm so sorry. I was so focused on selling these papers. Well, let me make it up.
Oh,
Yeah.
You don't have to give us...
Please, I want to. It's my fault, really.
What's going on here?
Nothing much. I just ran into your friend.
Hold on.
Of course, I'm happy to
I'll take 3 papers.
Oh! If only I had the chance to run into such generous customers every day. I should probably just take on a smaller inventory though, right? I'm getting married soon, so sometimes it's hard to not get ahead.
Well, now
okay.
that my affairs are settled, we should take the boat back to Poisson. We've even acquired...
Actually, why don't... Paimon just realized how hungry she is.
Huh?
She can't head back to Poisson and...
It appears you two are under the impression that delaying our return will somehow alter the situation in your favor. That being said, I could be persuaded to give Linny some extra time. If you agree to my request, I'll even answer some of your questions. You're quite curious.
Wait, why are you being so generous?
You overestimate yourself. You don't have the talent for bad things.
Then what can...
The most important consideration in a negotiation is that both sides receive something they want.
Fair.
Demands and threats only get you so far. Wonderful. When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation.
Okay.
That is for you to decide. Then we have a deal. Follow me.
That sounds fair enough. Sure. I will do some teleport. That. Also, I don't know why they decided, hey, let's put a meeting point all the way up there. It's not the most convenient to. But at the very least, I have plenty of stamina for sprinting. There's that, I suppose. Okay. I'm guessing there's an invisible trigger there. Fair enough, I suppose. Well, we might as well get some minor food in the meanwhile. Follow the knife to the nameless ruins. Interesting enough. Done.
The rain has stopped. Come with me.
Let's see what we have here.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. It used to be a grand building. Now it's nothing more than a pile of rubble. No one comes here anymore, nor does anyone care about what once happened here. Although, this place does have something to do with the story I'm about to tell you.
Alright.
It was before I became a harbinger, and before Linny and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events,
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Apparently.
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. I'll start from... Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. From the outside, it seemed like a fairy tale. A thriving family made up of kind adults and friendly children. Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Clairvy's mother by blood. Clairvy was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this family wasn't a fairy tale at all. It was a kind of purgatory.
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Tevat. But as for how to raise them, that depends entirely on the person in charge. Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown. It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the ones who died. The ones that emerged with permanent injuries, on the other hand, well, they would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on, or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than tools to be used and then discarded.
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But what actually happened to her? You said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried...
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a mother. to prove that she treated all her... Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age.
Wait, the friend?
Friend, huh? I suppose we can call her that for now. Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, on the other hand, was rather cold-blooded. Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. At least at first. Despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told there may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but Clairvy proved her determination many times over. She tried countless times to run away, ask for help, or expose the truth. But even with her body racked with pain, she would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window at night. She and Peruere would look out at the moon together.
Oh no.
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Peruere weren't children anymore, but finding any chance to escape still seemed as hopeless as ever. It was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. If escaping was out of the question, why not take down the very person sitting on top of this throne of lies? Mother herself. Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Crucibina possessed an Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought of if she couldn't escape and fight back. Precisely. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Peruere. The very person that had stood by her side from that moment on. Peruere's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came and washed it all away,
Fair
there
enough.
she stood, the sole victor in Mother's endless game of slaughter. It was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until the end. She wasn't surprised by the fact that she emerged as Mother's undisputed heir, rather she was unsettled. And there was only one thing that could quell that sensation.
Crucibina, you mean?
Correct. This is the place where Peruere killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought tooth and nail to kill the moment she acted. Any conception of what was right or wrong ceased to matter.
Alright.
It's one of the principles of the house. Only those who survive get to write the rules.
By the
Peruere
cross.
won the battle and became a harbinger herself. After which her
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about...
It
was you all
Yep.
along.
I left that name behind long ago. After I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and that is where the story ends.
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy...
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her existence is like ashes to a fire. You see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's not unlike a curse, of course. The chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity are exceedingly slim. Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self. Lose 10 years' worth, however, and it would be like living in the past. Like returning to a version of yourself that never grew up.
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we were...
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time. It may seem like she exists with us in the present.
So if all of that is true, then you must...
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable entity. Sometimes she would look up, but other times she would hide from me. Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight. They failed, yes. But no matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved.
Alright.
I don't anticipate so much as a single.
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her gun, but so what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. I hope you understand the difference.
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper...
Probably not.
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs. Anger makes you impulsive. Well, it appears it's about time to... I do believe I've kept my end of the deal.
Here they are, Father.
Oh, you gonna execute him? Lenny!
I'm sorry. I heard about, but I still failed. I couldn't find a.
Huh? Are you...
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Harry!
Shh. Stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first, I believe certain scores need settling.
Alright. Let's see what's gonna happen here.
Father, let.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that. Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments later.
By traitors?
Father, let me explain. We didn't.
Fultz. Why don't...
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participants, Nantoi clearly said, if only Sato added, I'm sick of this Filial was the worst of them all.
I did not! You're lying!
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. We're birds locked in a cage.
You little. You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo, have you forgotten?
Come on, Ellie.
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die.
Liar. You wouldn't be doing this if that were the case.
We all live in the House of the Hearth. A single betrayal can cost dozens of us our lives. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we...
You've been spying on us for half a month? Wait a second. Now that I think about it...
Filial, I owe you both my life. If this were any other situation, I would do any...
Why?
That's enough, Filial. We made a mistake. I'm sorry, Sheplo. Fultz, we...
Sheplo, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth.
All those who betray the house.
And so it shall be.
Let's see how this is gonna turn out.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say?
Please reconsider, Father. We all come from broken families, but the truth is, none of us know what a real home should look like. I'm not saying I have all the answers, so please, Father.
I agree with Lenny.
Father, please. Lenny.
I also agree with Lenny.
An order, once given, cannot be rescinded. However, given the extent of your
weapon?
Father, are you referring to it
precisely? The rule, however, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me.
Alright.
Demonstrate a sufficient showing of...
Impossible.
We gonna have to do it, or... Well, sure.
Did you hear that, Traveler? Lenny and the others have to duel the knave. If they lose, those people...
Don't you want to say a proper...
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow.
Oh, looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this.
When guests are around, families are often on their best.
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help.
What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
I'll allow
Yep.
it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less, and you may just lose your life.
Alright. Well, seems like we have a fight on our hands. Let's see.
Is it my turn now? With these rising flames!
So far, you have plenty of HP, but...
Is it my turn now?
So far, plenty of HP, that's for sure, but... It's probably gonna be more...
Is it my turn now?
Then...
These rising flames! Is it my turn now?
Sure.
Try to pace yourself.
Well, time to throw everything we have at her. They gave her plenty of HP, that's for sure.
Destruction shall rise. Watch out for father's movement.
Well, let's see how this turns out.
Father's even stronger than I expected.
Is it my turn now?
Going in!
Like a fly tangled in a web.
I'm guessing...
Rising flames.
Adventure time.
Is it my turn now?
Let's light it up.
And voila. Look at it. Trapped like a bunch of helpless eggs.
Hang in there.
I won't accept defeat.
Punishment. Boba, get them.
Look out! Not bad. You've proven to be a worthy opponent after all. The countdown has begun. Like a fly tangled in a web.
Light it up.
Lights out. Now's our chance. With who's next?
Now that your drink.
Is it my turn now?
You can't run.
Spare your energy.
Hang in
Running
there.
is of little use.
Well, let's see. I suspect two faces at the very least. That seems to be a norm with these guys. Spindle of Turo. Sure.
Kindness has been seared away. My blade is all that remains.
Shiver! I won't accept defeat.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody stand back!
Now's our chance.
Over here! Yeah! Let's go!
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Watch out for Father's movements! Look out!
The sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains. We struggle in vain.
Judgment! Sayonara special! Let's light it up! Punishment!
Now's our chance.
Over
Mm-hmm.
here!
Let's see how strong your resolve truly is.
Seems to be plenty strong enough.
You can't run!
Watch out for Father's movements! Look out!
Only the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know.
No!
I'm sorry, Father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Third phase, possibly.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
Crimson Moon. I can't move.
Alright.
Still, not strong enough to beat me.
Apparently not.
I believe we can end things here. It's not often that... Brother!
Lenny!
Given that I am the victor of this duel. As a...
Mm-hmm.
I never thought things...
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, I'm prepared to change the method of execution.
Doesn't really help, but okay.
Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping.
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for.
Wonderful.
Mhm.
Then,
Bottled flame?
indeed, they're the product of a secret once ingested. Searing pain will spread across every inch of your if you can withstand the pain. In other words, administering this
Okay.
memory is a
It's the entire point of
so
character quest.
you're just you misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die.
Even so, I'm sorry, Father.
Hmm.
I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes? Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to...
Of course.
Dry your
Alright.
tears.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. Goodbye, children. The next time, thank you for...
Alright.
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Lenny.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Also, I gotta say the fake out stuff.
Can we talk now? You really are Perry, aren't
Mhm.
you? Wait.
Neither. You died, Clairvy.
Hmm.
That's what happened.
Yep.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little. Huh?
Mhm.
That's it?
Yep. If that's what Perry says happened, then I believe her. Perry wouldn't
Fair
lie
enough.
to me. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. And more, can you tell me about...
You never stopped trying to... At first, no one
Mhm.
believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. In fact, you often sought comfort in the night sky. You wanted to see the aurora, so one night we promised each other we would go to Snezhnaya. Later on, you... Still, you
Fair
never...
enough.
But you called on everyone to unite. To fight to a draw in order to reduce casualties. Your efforts may have only you tried everything for the last 16 years.
I never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really but somehow,
Mhm.
I still think I understand. If I could do it...
Is that so? But as the head of... It's something I discuss. Of course,
That's more than enough. You know, Perry? I think you're a pretty amazing king.
Mhm.
And I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places.
Really?
Yeah, that's accurate.
We've traveled all over the place. We've got so many stories, we could probably talk your ears off for 3 days straight.
True. You shouldn't.
Those yokai you mentioned, I once saw a drawing.
Oh, sounds like you're talking.
Mhm.
You know, playing the loop. It's just too bad Perry doesn't like wearing dresses.
Mhm.
Mother, she probably wouldn't accept something like that either.
Fair enough.
I was always at the...
Mhm.
The situation was super dangerous. Lenny and Lynette were...
Oh no!
Don't worry. We were able to turn the situation around.
How'd you do that?
Hmm.
Come on, tell me!
Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new...
Mm-hmm.
Clairvy, you've worked
Mm-hmm.
tirelessly from the shadows to overthrow the House of the Hearth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, by my authority as the Knave, I shall announce how this matter ends. You are hereby expelled from the House of the Hearth. You are no longer tied to this place, nor are you bound by its rules.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that I can finally leave? I get to experience the outside world as well?
Not really, but okay.
Oh, I almost forgot. There's no getting older for me.
Mm-hmm.
Still, seeing who you grew up to be makes me really happy, Parallel.
And I don't know why, but okay.
Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
May we meet again someday.
That part makes no sense to me whatsoever, but okay.
Clairvy,
Gonna rate it as one of
she
the
left so
lower.
soon. Paimon didn't even get to finish her story.
Mm-hmm.
I also have certain sentiments left unsaid. I wanted to tell her that the aurora I saw in Snezhna, but a shadow's memories reset at dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Had we delayed any long, whatever regrets may linger, let them be lost to the coming of a new.
Father?
It's
Hmm.
Linny! Hey, Linny! What is he doing back here?
No idea.
Father, the bottled flames have been...
And you?
Thank you for giving us that choice, Father. Lynette and Fremine feel the same way. They're recuperating back at the hotel booth.
I'm sure you're well aware of the expectations I have
Mm-hmm.
for you. I want you to follow in my... I must admit, I'm rather surprised by your decision to stay. There's nothing wrong...
I just... never understood what you saw in me.
Mm.
You're brave. You would do anything to protect...
Speaking up back there was so brave of you, Linny. It's all thanks to you that we were able to convince Father to back down.
You're a hero, Linny.
Hero. Father is the real hero. Had Father gone all... I'm not deserving of...
You're wrong. In my opinion, all you need to be deserving of the throne... We may have different ideas, even without that strength.
Father.
No one knows if reaching a certain strength may decide the ultimate victor, but those who let a lack
Mm-hmm.
of strength dictate their decisions or undermine their conviction.
I understand.
Children must... The road ahead is not an easy...
You've done so much for me, Father. Protecting my family.
Then you're welcome to having members who longed for the light was our organization's last weakness.
Hmm.
With those
Alright.
members no longer among our ranks, the House of the Hearth is like a spider hiding in the shadows. At present, our imperative is to use their plan to our advantage. In doing so, a crimson moon shall rise amid the frigid blizzards of winter. No demonstration of loyalty shall go unrewarded. As for the two of you, no matter how arduous the journey ahead, I hope...
Sure. Achievement. Cool. I'll skip time, I guess. And we will see. Comes out of it. Mm-hmm.
Didn't Linny say that Lynette and Lemonade were
I would say this is one of the biggest stories they've done. Sure. Not much point to it. Except
Lynette,
confirming it's not all a big happy family, which you could have guessed.
Much better.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you feel?
I knew you'd come out.
Mhm.
Oh, Linny and the other members have left.
I see.
I'm glad. Father came to check up on us 2 days ago
Mhm.
and told us about what happened.
Wait, what?
Crusabina died a year after Clairvy.
Mhm.
It was during the year Crusabina had an extremely cruel and radical way of doing things. While she was alive, the atmosphere in the house was suffocating.
Isn't
When I
that the
joined,
case
though,
currently
the
too?
experiment she valued so much had already... A couple of months after I joined, Father killed Crusabina and burned all her files. With that, the names of all the people subjected to her experiments, Clairvy included, were lost to the flames.
Father took in Lenny and me a couple months after that, but she never mentioned anything about Crusabina or Clairvy.
Aretha, last time you talked...
She said she didn't want it the foundation of a... That's what Father told us.
But I still thanked her forever. If Father hadn't taken over the House of the Hearth,
Mhm.
Father rarely brings up the fact that she saved us. She doesn't believe that being indebted to her should be what ties us, but even if we didn't owe her anything, we would still choose to stay. Because
Alright.
this is our home. We may have
whether the path, so I wanted to say...
Oh, we didn't do anything.
Of course.
I actually saw them at a They didn't recognize me. From what I could tell, they seemed...
Alright. Well. That bit of a pointless one, but sure.
We haven't seen our Sumeru friends for a while now. Paimon wonders how they're doing.
Yeah, but with that,
Catch up with them.
I'm probably gonna go ahead and just end it off here. Yeah, let's see. Who can we go ahead and rate? Dun dun dun. Also, new auto screen. Anyway, let's go ahead and rate that. Everybody, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.